There we go. That was weird. Freaking Stream Deck wasn't working correctly. Here we go. DPS Podcast, episode 144. We are back once again. Thank you, Ramon Terrell's best intro ever. You know, and we always say why it's the best intro ever. Why, Forte, why is it the best intro ever?
Because it's us actually playing the games that you see on that screen and not just some generic cut together gameplay that, you know, a lot of people use.
Damn right. Imagine people who do a podcast about games that play, wait for it, games. It's crazy, right? Absolutely crazy. But yeah, like I said, Damage Per Second Podcast, that's DPS Podcast, episode 144. We are back. Another fine Thursday night. We want to shout out some people in the chat. Shout out, who's the very first person here? Basic Casual Gamer. He's obvious. He is very honest about himself. Appreciate you being first here. Rosier 00, Apex Predator in the house. Gregor Von Doom looking very dour with the emoji there. Arcade. What's up, bro? Sly Crow in the house. Ramon Terrell, aka Trent Bedfellow. What is it? Trent Bedfellows? No, Trent Pennywise? No.
I don't remember now.
I can never remember this guy's ABC family name. No, it's ABC family. Is it? Look, is it Freeform? No. Hallmark Channel. Hallmark Channel. We got Hallmark Channel.
No.
Mixie dies a lot. Birdsong. That's it. Trevor Birdsong.
Birdsong.
Why I keep saying Trent? I don't know.
You have to remember this now.
Ramon looks like a Trent, probably. Anyway.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
I don't condone any of this. None of this.
Shout out to you guys. Shout out to Harassment in the house as well. Ryan Landis, good to see you, bro. Michi dies a lot. Forte.
Yo, what's up?
So you just getting back in town, right?
Yeah, literally. Probably like a couple hours ago. Yeah, literally off the last thing smoking, or probably the first thing smoking out of Las Vegas, Nevada, Sin City, where, you know, the Chippendales are running wild and everything else is trying to follow and chase them down through all the crazy corridors of Las Vegas, Nevada. It was pretty crazy out there, man. It's hot, 103 degrees or higher every day since Monday, bro. I don't know how people do it.
We got people in the chat wondering why it's the DPS spinning logo is still the old one.
I haven't been here all week, so that'll be taken care of for next week.
People in the chat saying you sound sick. Erodimus, if you could have heard how he sounded when he first got in the chat, he sounded like he was on his deathbed.
Oh, this is like 150 times better than I sound literally 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, absolutely. 10 minutes, like forget 10 minutes ago. 2 minutes ago, he sounded like I was like, I don't know, we need to do this tonight. But no,
we good.
Where did you go again?
Vegas. I had the Gamestop Manager Conference, so it was got to see a lot of cool things.
Were you a good boy in Vegas?
Oh, I'm married. And I like to keep it that way. So I definitely was a good boy in Vegas. Definitely.
This is a Gamestop Managers Conference. Did you see anything that you can divulge to us that you can talk about?
I mean, I saw a lot of stuff. I saw Call of Duty. It looks wow.
That is a topic today, because they actually did a Modern Warfare 3 event today, and I actually did the event. It's very similar to like how Fortnite pretty much the stuff they showed to y'all today.
I saw 2 days ago. Okay. 2 days ago. It was really cool. Saw some campaign stuff. I don't know if they showed that to y'all, but
well, they had a. We'll get into like the details of it.
So saw that. That was cool. Then we had can't really talk about the camera if they didn't. Really can't talk about that. But yeah, that was really cool. Just the atmosphere of being back there, having vendors, telling you all the great things about their games. It's pretty incredible.
Anything catch your eye?
Oh man, there was a couple like every time I see the Avatar game, I actually get more and more excited. Like there's levels. Oh yeah, there's levels to that game, bro. They don't have a
release date yet, do they?
It's in December.
But they haven't announced it.
No, I don't know. I seen a release date. I don't know if they announced it yet, but there was a release date. If you can't tell me what it is, I can't tell you what it is.
I think Gamescom is coming up within the next day or week.
That's probably what it. But it actually did have a release date, just like I know they haven't released a date for like Hogwarts Legacy or anything for Switch, and that actually had a date too. Mm-hmm. So there's probably going to be a really big blowout at Gamescom talking about all that stuff. But it actually had a release date, and I was like, oh, it's a release date. It's a legit date on this thing. But and it's this year, so people don't have to worry about. But that was cool. You want to know the big thing that they gave us for free, sir? The really big thing.
If it's going to make me jealous, no.
It's probably not going to make you jealous because you sold one already.
Oh, a Steam? They gave you a Steam Deck?
No, they didn't give us a Steam Deck.
They gave you an Oculus Quest?
Not the Quest 2.
The Quest 3?
Not the Quest 3.
What is it? The Quest Pro? The $1,500?
Yep,
paperweight?
they did.
They gave you the $1,500 paperweight? No wonder.
They did.
Because they can't sell them.
That away.
So no, to the GameStop managers. I mean, it's a net loss anyway.
Yeah, they were. It was pretty cool, man. They were. It's like how they did it. It was like really funny. It's like they went off stage, and all of a sudden you start hearing whispering through the PA, through the microphones and stuff. Yeah. It's like the budget. That's not in the budget. And then all of a sudden they just come out. And I'm like, wait a minute. They about to do something. I thought it was going to be MetaQuest 3s because it comes out this year, but they said they wanted us to experience it before the MetaQuest 3 came out, so they gave the Pro to everybody.
More powerful. Look,
it definitely is more powerful.
I heard it's a bad VR headset though. Like maybe it's more of like how people see the RTX 4080 as a bad GPU. But it's really only a bad GPU because the price is $400 more expensive than it should be.
Right.
So maybe because they made the Quest Pro like $1,500 at retail. Yeah. So I'm wondering,
15.
Like, if people just said, "Yo, it's a bad VR headset because it's a bad value." I don't know. I guess you'll find out soon, right?
Yeah, we'll find out soon. But that was really, really cool. And then what was another game that was shown that I really, really, really liked? What is the Immortals? What is it? Immortals of what?
Starts with A. Immortals of Avium.
Yeah, Avium, dude.
Of Avenanum.
It starts A is with
Valium.
Albion. Albion. I think it's Albion. Immortals of Albion.
Hey, look.
Albion. But that game looks really, really cool, bro.
Yeah, some people have. Okay, can I say? You know what? Look, man. Look.
Don't tell me you got a chance to play that already.
I will not say that I have not had a chance to play it. How about that?
Okay, don't say that.
So,
yeah,
I'm not saying that. I am not saying I had a chance to play it. I'm saying nothing, but. From what I've heard, is it's a mix of, remember that 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 like movement game that everyone liked last year. It was an indie. I can't remember the name of it. It was like something white.
I know what you're talking about. I can't think of the name of it.
Yeah. But movement is like that, but you have powers and abilities, and the way they mix it up, it's from what I've heard, it's actually surprisingly neon white. Thank you, Slackrow. Yeah, I heard movement is like neon white, and the combat is actually pretty good.
Yeah, it's
performance
cool, bro.
might performance might be a whole nother issue.
Well, you could definitely see some of the situation going on there.
It's an Unreal Engine 5 game, so just look, you're gonna need to have a pretty beefy PC, play that on PC, and I imagine the consoles are gonna have some struggles, you know.
Yeah, that was cool. I got a chance to see. I got a picture of it. I'll probably post it tomorrow. I got a chance to see that Spider-Man system up close and personal. That thing looks gorgeous.
My
I'll text.
My brother.
I'll text you.
No. I don't want to text, man. I want the
what
plates.
You want? Oh, the plates. That was like the number one thing we asked them when we was talking to PlayStation about the plates. And they did say that there will be a supply available. They said the system would be available for walk-ins.
This might be, a lot of people might get excited about this. Now, when you say a supply available
in store,
in store, are you just talking like like in September next month? They're going to be selling them everywhere again.
Yes, I don't know about the plates, but we know the system will be available.
Man, I don't want to buy a whole. I just want the plates. So,
well, listen, man, you got to talk to PlayStation about those plates.
so you're not getting any plates.
They didn't say anything on plates. They just said that the system will be available for people. And when they kind of say stuff like that, that kind of means that's all it's probably going to be.
They are so wrong on that. I mean, I think they're leaving money on the table. That's just me. I think Sony is leaving money on the table. There is a significant demographic of people like myself who will not spend another $500 on a whole new system. There are plenty of people who will get the collectors, like, hey, I want those collectors that love to just get a new system. But this is different because this isn't just this is a regular PlayStation 5 with $60 different plates on them. It's no different. And so it's just like, just give me the daggone plates, bro.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. Anything else?
It's a lot of cool things. Nah, man. I mean, that stuff that I can't talk about, but yeah, there's a lot of stuff. No, screw. No, I know how that song get danced with 3-4 years ago.
hey, look, we are a close-knit community here.
We are.
None of the 10%ers. None of the DPS clan is going to say anything, man. We just going to keep it to ourselves until it comes out. So just go ahead, man.
Well, I'll tell you this:
okay,
Nintendo officially announced they passed 129 million consoles sold.
We don't care about. I thought they were already past that.
Oh! Speaking of which, Mario. I'm here to
suck Mario Wonder.
Mario Wonder. Oh my god!
So you saw it?
Oh my god! Yeah! Oh my god! Oh my god! That game is going. Dog, that game is like, even for one person, that game's going to be fun. But if you get multiple people playing that game, it's going to be a party, bro. That game looks we ain't play it, but we saw the actual gameplay of it. Mm-hmm. That game looks insane.
Would you say it was the best looking game you saw this week?
No, it wasn't the best. Mario RPG is up there Mario RPG probably was looking the best.
That's a day one cop for me.
Yeah, Mario RPG.
I am getting that. I'm a buy a copy, and I'm a sell the seeds, man. I'm a selling the seeds. But no. So that was the best looking game you saw?
Not the best looking. I mean, Nintendo's never going to qualify for the best looking.
Well, I mean best looking. I mean like best like, game there.
Oh, best game there.
Yeah,
yeah, probably from of excitement level. Yeah, that Mario Wonder. I didn't expect the 2D game to be
The Xbox show
that. Yeah, they showed some stuff.
Like what?
Starfield.
Oh, so okay? You didn't get to play it though, right?
No, who's gonna play Starfield? Where they gonna cut? Where they gonna cut you out a 15-minute demo of a game that's gonna take your life away? Where they gonna find the time?
Did you get a early Starfield code or something? No, how
I did.
They gave you Starfield.
Yeah.
So you can download it right now.
No. I gotta wait till the first.
Yeah. But by the way, review codes for the audience. Review codes for Starfield came out today.
Yeah.
Various people in the community, like shout out to the homie Jeff Grubb, shout out to Randall Thor. Those guys got review codes. SloMo got an empty inbox. on his email. About it, maybe mine is just on the way. I understand I'm low on the totem pole, so like if they're giving out codes, I'm like at 500 codes or something, I'm like 498, right? So maybe they're just waiting to give it to me, or I just ain't getting one like usual, but it's probably the latter. But anyway, no.
Are you gonna get Lords of the Fallen when it comes out?
I'm on the fence with
that game looks incredible. It's way faster than you probably see in the trailer.
Really?
Yeah, watching the gameplay of it, it seems like it's faster than the trailer portrays it as. Because you get the two different worlds and stuff. You get basically two lives when you live, you're in the Axiom world, and if you die, you're in the Umbra world. And when if you die a second time inside the Umbra world, then that's when you reset. But it's there's ways to get back to the Axiom world. You have to basically, it's not easy. You got to defeat certain enemies and be able to pull the essence from the little crystals that they have around to like recharge your lantern to bring you back. And you could also use your power to pierce and see into the Umbran world. And there's like shortcuts and stuff like you'll see, because think of like the median where the worlds are run on top of each other. It's basically a mirror version of the world, but certain aspects of that world can be seen in one, but there's like maybe there's a bridge in front of you in one world, or not in front of the world, but if you go to the other world, you put it up, you can see a bridge.
Yeah. Now,
and then you can
I saw some gameplay of Lords of the Fall. I think I talked about it during lunchtime with SloMo earlier this week, and I didn't feel too impressed with it. But then again, I'm watching a stream. It's compressed video. It's not necessarily like it's different than running it on your own hardware. So we'll see what happens. But I'm not like super excited for it at the moment.
Yeah. But it's gonna be on some people's radar, because I think a lot of people that like they tried to go really, really careful on calling it, a Souls game, because, that's another company that, From Software makes that. They really tried to make it a lot different, mostly from the combat side, from the original Lords of the Fallen, by speeding up the gameplay and stuff like that. And you could definitely tell, it's more where the original was more medieval fantasy. This one is high fantasy. It is not really a medieval. It's got medieval tones to it, but nowhere near as the original one did. So they're really going out their way to like not make it seem, because when people see the thing, didn't that game come out already? So trying to make it feel and look a little bit different from the original.
Got you. Yeah, if I get it, it'll be a game that's like I get later on. It's just like so many games coming out around this time of year right now that I got kind of prioritize the ones I really want to play versus the ones I don't. But two things that I'm definitely going to start doing for this channel. is I'm really enjoying doing the Expanse, the Telltale series reviews that I've been doing. I got 3 more to do because there's gonna be 3 more episodes. It's, you know, Telltale, they always do 5 episodes in a season. And I kind of want to get back to just doing those kind of things. So the game that's on and that's being shown right now is Showgunners. That's actually my first topic. I know you haven't played it yet, but I just like the game is so awesome. I wanted to talk about it. But I'm going to do a review for this game, and I'm going to be doing more reviews for games in the future. I just kind of feel like, frankly, I mean, I don't want to be mean, but there really aren't a lot of good reviewers out there. And I feel like, I'm not saying I'm a great reviewer, but I feel like reviews where people aren't just like, yo, what's your score, bro? I don't care what you got to say. I don't care what's the score? 8, that's it? Like, no. I don't do scores. I just, you know, I break down a lot of different parts of aspects of a game, and I kind of want to do that. So, you ready to get in the first topic?
Yeah, let's go.
Go to it. So, a couple of people in the chat have been asking, what game is this? And this is Showgunners, and Showgunners is it's basically, remember that movie The Running Man with Arnold Schwarzenegger from the 80s? Or was that the 90s? That was the 80s. Right?
It was the end of the 80s.
Okay, so where the whole point is that Arnold Schwarzenegger is like in these games, and he's trying to survive. And there's like these gladiators or like, you know, like champions that the people, the audience, overall the world is really hyped for. This game Showgunners is like that, but in a XCOM combat style, and this actually has a really good story to it, and I've been enjoying it. Like I bought this game, and it's my fault for not playing it immediately when I bought it. It's an indie game. I got it on Steam. It wasn't, you know, of course it's not like full price or anything like that for an indie game, but the story is really cool. Your main character is Scarlet, and she's got this beef with one of the champions in the tournament. And I ain't trying to ruin the story, but she ain't there for the money. She's there for that one particular person to take him out. And it's really good. Every character that you get has their own unique special abilities. So like there's this one guy I get named Tybalt, and Tybalt can basically do a body swap with your enemies, where one of the enemies will look like him and he'll look like the enemies, and I can like move in between them and they'll leave me alone, even heal me. And meanwhile, they're shooting their buddy that looks like me. I love that guy. He has saved me in so many different battles, and he's a hacker, so he can like hack enemies' weapons if they got robots and stuff. Scarlet herself is kind of, if you play XCOM, she's like an assault class where she can like do 2 actions and still be able to shoot, and she can, usually the assault classes in XCOM also are very nimble or harder to hit, and she's very hard to hit, and it's really good. I'm enjoying myself with it. And before anyone said like, no, I bought this game, there was no review code. I didn't get a review code. I wish I would have did, because I would have definitely reviewed the game before it came out. But I think it's an awesome game, and if you like XCOM kind of games, you will like Showgunners. It's really good. And essentially, the point is that you're trying to be the last contestant left. You're trying to be the last one as you go through these different areas that are all death traps. And while you're doing that, as you're in between your battles, you'll be like walking through and trying to avoid traps and puzzles and stuff. Like, it's also super gory, like decapitations and like blowing people apart. It's blood and guts everywhere. But you'll run into like people. You see people on the sides cheering behind fences, and you can talk to fans, and fans would be like, "Oh, Scarlett, I love you. Give me an autograph." And as you get more fame, you'll get sponsors, and sponsors will be like, "Oh, we like you so much. We'll help you get a discount on the guns you want to buy, or we'll give you more grenades and more med kits, or you'll get health regeneration when you're not in combat." That kind of stuff. So it's actually really, really cool. I'm enjoying the game. So like I said, like if you like XCOM games, give Showgunners a shot. I promise you, you would not be disappointed.
It's on Steam.
As far as I know, it's on Steam. What am I talking about? I bought it on Steam. As far as I know, it's only on PC. As far as I don't know. It might be on other stuff. Let me find out. Real quick.
I didn't know anything about it. I saw that you made a topic, and I started looking it up, and it's like, yeah, this looks really cool. I like the over the top. It gives you like that.
Yeah, it's only on PC. Yep.
Yeah, it gives you like a more better looking
20 reviews, and it's a 75 Metacritic. My bad. Go ahead.
No, you're good. No, I said, yeah, it looks really cool. It gives me like that over the top Hotline Miami look, but it looks way better. It's not pixelated like that game, but that's how that game style is supposed to be. This looks really cool. What's the you know what? It reminds me of like, what was that game that Xbox promoted on Game Pass? What was it? The Ascent? Like just in look.
Oh yeah, in look, yeah,
in look,
yeah, because this is less cyberpunk and more like a dystopia kind of desolate kind of thing, like real anarchy stuff going on, and it's just it's everything is very like just bad, like it's violence everywhere. Cities are completely tore up, and it's just like everybody is, instead of worrying about the ills of the world, they're just more concerned with watching rampant violence. All the people that you fight are inmates who, if they survive like their encounters with you, they get years off their sentence. So it's like that's why they're fighting, and it's just really, really good. Don't remember what the price is. I think it's like less than $30, I believe, though. But you can find it on Steam. It's pretty cool. Shout out to B Money in the house. Shout out to B Money Enrique.
Shout out to B Money.
What's up, guys? Yeah. So that's Showgunners. I actually have been playing this, and the only reason why I even started it was I was getting bodied in Baldur's Gate 3, and I said, you know what? I need to play something else right now because I'm mad.
Do something different. Do something different.
And I started playing this, and it's a cool change of pace. Like I don't think it's going to be very long. I feel like I'm already halfway through the game. I've probably been playing for like 7 hours. But
yeah,
pretty cool little game. I think people should check it out. You ready to move on? Anything else you want to say about it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Alrighty. Well, Call of Duty, and you saw this already, but Call of Duty had a Modern Warfare 3 event inside of Call of Duty Warzone today. I did do the event, and it's very, if you've ever seen like a concert in Fortnite before, where they do like a live thing, it was like you need to show up at this time. Like you have to be there at this time or at this time period to watch it or see it or be a part of it. It was kind of like that, which I actually had thought this was better than the Fortnite stuff, because like a Fortnite concert, you just be in a room like watching like some like 3D animated version of like Ariana Grande or something. Or like when they did their Dragon Ball thing where you could actually watch episodes of Dragon Ball Super, you would just kind of like just be standing with your avatar in a room with like a huge, like a drive-in theater kind of thing, and then they're just playing the episode up there. There's very little interaction going on. This was different, as you actually did a mission, and it was called like Shadow Siege. So I guess the mission was kind of like I don't know, like a prologue to Modern Warfare 3 or something, like story wise. But like you do this mission and then there's a trailer afterwards. But the mission was cool. Like I'm not really into DMZ like that or Warzone. This is more DMZ because it was, even though in DMZ you can fight other players, but we weren't really fighting other players. We were just straight just fighting NPCs. But there was a mission that you had to do, and it was a whole bunch of people in there, not just the squad they put me in. It was a lot of people there, but it was a cool mission. I mean, I did it, and then there was the trailer afterwards. Now the trailer I think showed aspects of the campaign from Modern Warfare 3, so you can now, if you want to go talk about the stuff that you saw from the story, you can do that, because I think that's already kind of out there.
Yeah, a lot of the a lot of the stuff that you did see inside of the trailer for the actual launch, it was some stuff that we saw. Predominantly it's like, I think it starts with the boat scene with them on the water.
We that's a part of the trailer. Yeah, I saw that.
We got a chance to see pretty much that entire mission, which was incredible. As you can see, as you already know, they did the reveal. Makarov is back. We kind of already knew that and everything, and just the build up of it. And the one thing that really struck me, and I don't know why, it's like that game gets better looking every it seems like every year Call of Duty just gets better looking when it comes especially to the campaign of it. And I know a lot of people were really upset about, I mean, we even talked about it last week on DPS, talking about, or a couple weeks ago, when they basically decided to make Modern Warfare 3 its own, premiere offering
instead of an expansion.
And I was like, why? It's like, it just felt like it was going to be less than, but they are going, like, this is a full game, like, to the point where you got Sledgehammer is doing the development with, being consulted by Infinity Ward, because this is the first one that Infinity Ward didn't work on. They're just, they're basically just lending expertise to Sledgehammer on everything that's going on in the game, because they're still working on stuff for Warzone for this season. And then you got a full multiplayer suite with I don't know if they announced, but it's a lot of, like,
I think there's a lot of that the maps from the original Modern Warfare 3 are being.
Oh, they did? Okay, cool. Yeah, all the original
be there. Yeah,
all the original maps are going to be there. Like, literally, they showed it on screen. I was like, yo, they had like high rise up there. It was, every map was up there that you could remember from Modern Warfare 3, and that was really cool to see. It'll be the first Call of Duty that has the what else did they announce? Any other modes?
They did, and I wasn't paying attention because I did this thing and I watched the trailer, and then I got off, and well, actually no, I started playing some of the multiplayer. I put a clip up on Twitter of me in shipment with shotgun, just getting to work, just getting busy. And I didn't pay attention to nothing else, so I apologize.
Oh, look at you! This is
what you're here for. This is you're here to give out all that added context and feedback, man. Yeah, so go in there. All the stuff that you saw.
You trying to get people in trouble?
Hey, no. Look, anything that you saw.
No, I'm just messing with you. They showed the zombie mode, which is going to be.
I did hear about that.
Yeah, they showed the zombie mode where it's basically that is being done by Treyarch. So Treyarch is working on the zombie mode. That isn't nobody else there. They're literally going to have the best teams, like I said, outside of Modern War, Infinity Ward, just consulting on the single player and the multiplayer. We're gonna get like the kings of the kings when it comes to the offerings that's going to be in the zombie mode. So, like, just looking at the game in general, it looks like it's going to be a a legit full game to the point where I think you're not going to really be missing anything. And the one thing I like the most, and this is something we talked about before, they are carrying all of your gear, all of your calling cards, all of your stuff that you have now is going to be carrying forward. And I think that's probably due to the fact that, it was at some point going to be just an add-on to MW2, and they were just going to probably do a moniker refresh or a title change to Modern Warfare 3. But now that they're going to do something completely separate, I guess they still decided to keep doing that. So it was really cool, and just seeing the excitement. Like, it was a lot of people that were just really, really excited for what they were seeing. Modern Warfare, some people gonna tell you, say Black Ops is probably the best franchise. I still to this day say the Modern Warfare series is still by far my favorite because I
prefer Modern Warfare over Black Ops.
Over Black Ops. Yeah, Black Ops is fun because it's got really good characters and stuff. But I also think they're going to go down that road where they're going to start redoing a lot of those games, and you're going to probably see the Black Ops series get refreshed after this too. At some point, probably in between making like newer experiences that nobody ever played before. But yeah, it was cool. I didn't get a chance to see the actual in-game stuff that they did with Warzone. I do know that they did a mission. It was a mission that was going to happen. I didn't get a chance to see it.
I have that's what I played earlier today, and that's what's playing on the gameplay right now. Yeah. So it was a mission. You come in and you had to capture these missiles and then launch them to uncover basically blow up a mountain and uncover a bunker that had like all this radiation in it, and then we had to run in there and steal a bunch of stuff, really the same thing, like these canisters out of it, and then load them on the plane and then extract. And that's essentially the entire mission. And then there's a little cutscene afterwards, and then it rolls into the Modern Warfare 3 trailer that you had seen earlier this week. But
yeah, they showed you the energy, the energy that they brought with that campaign. I was like, yo, this is insane. But it's gonna be fun.
Did you beat the Modern Warfare 2 campaign?
I did.
I need to do that. I started it, and then I started getting into the multiplayer, and I just never went back.
The Modern Warfare 3 campaign starts off with a bang. Right at the beginning, Ghost drops that freaking bomb, that AMRAM right on that on those enemies and stuff. It was crazy. Like, it starts with a bang and it just keeps going. But yeah, it's going to be more of that, and I like the direction they're going, and I think a lot of people are going to be really excited. I think it ultimately, every Call of Duty, it just really just depends on how you feel about Call of Duty at this point. But every year the game, it may not sell as much as it used to sell, but you're still looking at 20-30 million copies of that game selling across all multiple platforms.
No, they broke records with Modern Warfare 2.
Oh no, in Modern Warfare 2, no, I'm saying that's what I'm saying. They're still doing that with these games. Even the bad ones that people say are bad still sell 20-30 million.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, look, this Modern Warfare 3 is going to sell regardless. Like I think it's similar to how, regardless of how the hardcore Call of Duty players, and I'm not them. I'm a super casual Call of Duty person. I'll pick up I may play for a little while, 1 year, and I hadn't played in years before I played Modern Warfare 2. But the hardcore will hate everything that they're doing, but they'll still pick it up. They'll still buy it. They'll still play it, and they'll complain the entire time. It's almost like the Destiny community, as far as almost. It's not quite as bad, but it's almost there. I see it no different than, like, say, the Madden community, where they complain about how it never changes, there's no improvements, yet they're still got their ultimate team, and they're still spending that money every single year. So speaking of that, saw the some stuff on that FIFA. Man, I wish I was into FIFA, because I swear FIFA looks, well, it's not FIFA, it's FC 24 now. But I wish I was I used to be into it when I was like on a 360. But those things, it's so
interesting watching gameplay of that. Oh, and speaking of which, Tekken gameplay.
Tekken 8.
Tekken 8 looks
no release date though.
Still no release date. It's still, but guess what? It was playable. Played it with got a chance to play it with it. Yeah, we got a chance to play it there. So it's playable.
Have they
feels
done
so good.
any betas for Tekken yet, or is it
not yet? They haven't done any betas for it yet.
One of the first people that have been able to play it.
Man, it feels so good, man. It feels so good. And then I got a chance. Razer has some new peripherals coming out with their
elbow, boom.
Well, tomato. Wait, no. They were
Razer
the ones that
sucks. Sorry.
Jesus Christ. I said they're the one they just got because we got a chance to play Street Fighter.
We're never getting a sponsorship from Razer. Not that I would want one, because I would never do a sponsorship for some crap I wouldn't use.
Oh my God. But stop it, SloMo.
I'm sorry, Razer's trash, man.
Stop it. Stop it.
Name a good Razer product.
Naga.
What is that?
The mouse.
Yeah, I might have to be that. I'm sorry.
The Razer Naga is the one with it's got like
the keyboards are terrible. The last Razer keyboard I got, some of the keys wouldn't work. I'd be trying to do shortcuts, recording gameplay and stuff, and it wouldn't work. It's terrible. Yes, Capono, I take Corsair over Razer any day. Absolutely. Corsair.
I have Corsair everything.
Literally anybody. HyperX, anybody but Razer. Like my keyboard is HyperX.
Yeah. I have Corsair. I have Corsair everything. So
yeah, I'm sorry. I that detour for the Razer slander, but they deserve it. Anyway,
oh, B Bunny said there has been 2 betas. I just didn't know. Okay, so there has been 2 betas for Tekken.
Okay.
It kind of makes sense of how well that game plays for it not to have a release date yet.
Anything else about Call of Duty before we move on?
No, man. Are you excited for Call of Duty, man? It's gonna be here before you know it. November. What did they say? November 10th.
Excited? I'm not really. I wouldn't say I was excited. I did like the trailer.
Yeah,
I like.
Yeah.
When I was playing earlier, I like the multiplayer. I just like to shoot people in the face. So I'm going to be there I'm going to play it so I can shoot people in the face. That's what I want to do. The campaign, I think I will finally play Modern Warfare 2's campaign, so I can roll into playing the Modern Warfare 3's campaign. But
I will tell you the biggest thing that I see now when you're playing multiplayer, this goes out the window because you want depth of perception that headsets give you when it comes to like picking out individual threats and stuff, a little bit more closer to your ear. But when you play the campaign, and I think everybody should do that. If you have the ability to play on a sound system, it's a whole nother level of immersion. Not like Dolby Atmos or anything, but just a regular setup that is set up at your TV. That's just not just a TV by itself that gives you a little bit more sound. There is a whole nother level to what Call of Duty does and how it brings you into the action when you have a setup like it's kind of like that. And I think it's kind of akin to like Battlefield. I don't know if you ever played, went into the settings on Battlefield and turned the war tape setting on for your sound profile. It just makes the game sing. Especially if you're playing like on a dedicated surround system or something like that. Like I do think when I play this game, I'm gonna play it on my main TV or my surround system for the campaign at least because
on your TCL? On your TCL?
Yes, on my TCL.
You're gonna play it on your TCL?
Yes, my TCL that still serves me great to this day that I have no issues with and gives me really, really good input latency to my TV and my console. Yes, that. Game's not going to run at 4K all the time anyway, so who needs something better?
It's just disgusting. Okay, no, I guess we will never get a TCL.
No, we will get one. They'll just partner with me. Say, hey, we're only They're gonna be like, we're only sponsoring episodes that's on Forte's channel.
Right. That's fine. That's fine. But no, I play all my games with my headset on, so my headset surround sound, so it's fine. I don't really care about like having a great system.
But
usually when I'm playing late at night, I ain't really trying to have no great system going anyway, because I'm not going. I can't like fully enjoy the way I want to, because I'll be, if I'm really blasting it like that, I'll be probably
your wife be mad as hell at you.
Right. So
you work from home now, so when the kids go to school and your wife's at work.
Oh, that is true. That is
true. You can
turn.
That'd be your time, just to you for the most part you're gonna probably just play multiplayer, but then just to get through the campaign, spend like 2 or 3 days going through the campaign while everybody's at home, at work or at school, and then beat that campaign, and you're gonna be like, yo, I gotta play more games like this. But yeah, that's all I got for that. But we got to get to this next topic, because oh boy, the firestorm I was at conference when I saw this. I was like, what happened? So, it's like the world is on fire for Linus.
Right. So let's get into this. And for those, I'll do a quick summary for those who don't know what's happening in the tech community. So everyone knows who Linus Sebastian is from Linus Tech Tips. It's the redhead guy, kind of goofy, kind of all into himself. Anyway, Linus has his channel, he's he is the biggest tech channel there is. I think Linus Tech Tips has like 15 million subscribers on YouTube.
He's second biggest. MBKHD has the most, 17 million.
But they're both very similar. They both used to do basically tech entertainment. It's more, MK does more of the basic, here is my opinion about the products that I'm testing, and Linus has been more on the fun side of things. But recently, Linus and his Linus Media Group is what it's called. They have a handful of channels. They're all in the millions, and they all do like very different things, but they kind of came under fire recently due to what sparked it all. Was they had media come tour their new labs. They spent millions of dollars on this lab that they got, and they do all these testing at the labs, and one of their engineers in front of all these media people threw a little shade to the two biggest, I would say, they're probably the two biggest and most and highest integrity channels on YouTube, which is Hardware Unboxed and Gamer Nexus.
Yeah.
They said that we test, when we do our benchmarks, we test every product every single time, and we do comparisons to other products. We test those products again. We don't use old data. Not like Hardware Unboxed and Gamer Nexus. And it was just like, whoa. Okay, so that came out, and Hardware Unboxed kind of, spoke their piece on Twitter. Capone, we're gonna get to the other part of it, the Madison part, in a minute. But after Hardware Unboxed spoke their piece, Linus, who typically he has a podcast that he does on a weekly basis called The WAN Show, and on the podcast he addressed what Hardware Unboxed said, and essentially he basically tried to act like they were unprofessional by even responding, and then he said something that kind of tweaked Gamer Nexus and Steve, which was pretty much his undoing. Was he said that he wasn't trying to upset sponsors, and he feels more like, I'm paraphrasing here, but he felt more along the lines of trying to make sure his sponsors were good than trying to be like going at it with Hardware Unboxed and Gamer Nexus. And that's when Steve jumped in it, because as far as he's concerned, these companies can kick rocks, He reviews the product. He tries to make sure all of his data is accurate as possible, and that accuracy is something that we have not seen from Linus Media Group at all. And that kind of came into, like, they've kind of transitioned from tech entertainment into tech analysis and reviews and benchmarking, which is another side of tech that Linus and group have never been very good at. If you recall, like years ago, when Linus tried to call out Epic and Sony and put his foot in his mouth about the Unreal Engine and what it was capable of doing, and then turned out he was wrong. Linus is typically putting his foot in his mouth on things. My very first time ever, like, seeing this, one of my favorite YouTubers, Epox Vox. This guy's like, if you're into content creation, if you want to know how to, like, really do OBS and what's the best mic to use and what's the best, like, any kind of stuff, to, like, the tools that content creators use, Epox Vox is the dude. He's the dude. So, like, this guy knows everything there is to know about capture cards and mics and all this stuff. And he was in a round table with Linus, and Linus tried to embarrass him and was completely wrong, and had the audacity to do a simulate a mic drop after he said something that was completely wrong. It was just like, that's the kind of dude he is. And then he'll apologize later on if he gets called out enough. But all that said, Gamer Nexus does this huge takedown of Linus, like, where he does this. It's an amazing, like, 40-minute video, I think, where he is just going over all the inaccuracies, the fact they claim that they do testing every single time, and he proved they didn't. In fact, all their data in every single video was wrong. And then the biggest thing that really pissed people off is the whole Billet Labs situation. Now, Forte, are you aware of the Billet Labs thing? Forte, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Are you aware of the Billet Labs situation?
Yes.
Okay, so Billet Labs is this small little startup company by two people. Yep. And they asked Linus to review a water block that they created specifically
for the 40.
For the 3090.
3090. They used it for a 40.
Yeah. Linus takes it. He doesn't like the product, and they somehow at some point they lose the 3090 Ti that Billet Labs provided for them to test with. Instead, they decide, oh, you know what, a 4090 is fine. We'll just use a 4090 instead, even though it doesn't, like, the fitting of the water block didn't fit correctly. So the data was bad, the test was wrong. It was a bad experiment, bad testing. And they basically just ran the whole thing down and said the product wasn't worth anything. Now, Billet Labs disagreed, but they were just like, all right, whatever. We'll let someone else test it. Give us our stuff back. Linus and company say, all right, yeah, we'll send you that stuff back. But then weeks later, at a charity event, they auctioned their water block off. They auctioned it off. They also still can't find the $2,000 retail, large retail 3090 Ti that they were provided, that they lost that too. So the entire time, at no point did they give Billet Labs an apology. They were just like, yeah, we auctioned it, our bad, or whatever. And this became a part of Steve's video as well. Linus tries to do some kind of damage control, not on Twitter, not on their 5 different YouTube channels, but instead in his own message board with all his fanboys that I guess he thought was going to pat him on the back. He tried to make himself look like a victim. He tried to say Steve should have contacted him first before going public with his video. Like, if he did, he would have known that we had already came to a price, an agreement with Billet Labs to reimburse them for the water block and all this other stuff, which was a lie. He actually didn't do that. Billet Labs said they didn't get an email from Linus Linus Media Group about their monoblock and reimbursing them for it until 2 hours after Steve Gamer Nexus video came out. So all of this is going on meanwhile, and typically happens. And I'm gonna say this because I want people to understand, because there's some people that like are going after this former employee and saying she's being like she's being what's the word I'm looking for? Opportunistic is what she's trying to do. She's trying to take advantage of a situation when she has a problem, and a lot of people in that community that follow Linus can't stand her ever since she quit. But this young lady named Madison used to work for Linus, and she was just a regular content creator that got hired by them a few years ago. And like, if you look at the video, I watched the video of I don't know how it happened, but Linus was building a PC for her, and it was an entertaining video. I understand why they hired her, but she came out on Twitter talking about all of the really bad like business practices and things that were going on behind the scenes, all the things that she dealt with. She was sexually assaulted multiple times while she worked there. She was verbally harassed and treated basically like garbage while the whole time she was there. She never got breaks. She even self-harmed herself in order to take a break. It's a very long thread of misery if you decide to watch it. They also definitely took advantage of her being young. They told her one thing while she was still living in Arizona. As soon as she moved to Canada, they had the leverage over her. Everything that they told her they were going to do for her as a content creator, the money that she was supposed to have, all that stuff went out the window almost immediately. It's just super unfortunate. They haven't really addressed that yet. I think Linus did do a statement about her comments, and they did a whole video where they were of all their leaders apologizing and saying for the first time in 14 years we're going to stop doing content until we get our stuff together. But the sad thing I thought was, like, I watched that apology video. Did you watch the apology video?
I did. Yeah, it was what do we do now video.
Yeah. Maybe it's me, but if you're doing an apology, doing advertising for your store in the your apology video, bad idea. Bringing up sponsors and then saying, hey, our sponsors wanted to say that. Doesn't matter if your sponsors wanted to say something. You're apologizing right now. Like you this isn't a time for you to be making money. And then saying, oh, well, we didn't monetize the video. It doesn't matter if you monetize the video through YouTube or not. You still shout out your own store, and you still shout out a sponsor. Not to mention, during an apology video, the multiple times of the jokes that were being made. Why are you making a 69 joke in the middle of an apology? That doesn't make any sense. Like, it's just brain dead decision making. And frankly, I think the company is never going to change. They can't. It's ingrained in their culture and who they are. It wasn't just Linus treating Madison and everyone bad and making it so that content is more important than accuracy in the actual work that they do and the content that they put on display. That's Linus. That's his philosophy. But all the other stuff that was happening, that's all the rest of the people that work there too.
Right.
Rodman says you gotta use the word allegedly so you don't get any blowback. I don't care. Go sue me. I don't care. Like, okay, Madison, allegedly everything that Madison said is still alleged. Fine. But if any of that stuff, even a little bit of it is true, it's freaking disgusting. Like, and Capone says another ex-employee has backed up Madison. So there you have it. Like, it's, I don't know. It's just, I'm doing a lot. So I did a summary of everything up to this point. Forte, what are your thoughts on this whole thing?
Man, whew. You know, it's it's crazy how all this just started. It started because they came out and said their statement, and they had to drag other people's names into it. And then instantly I thought, I was like, there's going to be a video, because you already know, Gamers Nexus doesn't stand down for nobody, and neither does Hardware Unboxed. So they're not going to just let them say things.
Right.
So of course they responded to it, and then Nexus goes even deeper, and they start literally doing a back file of all of their videos and start looking at videos, looking for inaccuracies once they start finding them. And they said they always knew there were inaccuracies, but to a point they would actually go back in and they would actually, do certain things to actually address those things. But then the more and more they looked at videos, they realized that it just got to the point where they just said, screw it. Let's just get more and more content out there. The one thing where he was talking about, we had to with the I forget their name, the guys with the water block, they said that we're not about to spend $100 to $500 to $600 of someone else's time to go out and retest this.
So
and I was,
you're a $1 million corporate. You're a multi-million-dollar corporation worth $100 million. And you can't spend $500 to go get the right product and also do the retest the right way. It just shows that like he shouldn't be in this kind of tech business. Like at least not with him running things. And so by the way, Capono, they did a review of the 4090 when the 4090 came out. Their review had the 4090 being 300% faster than the 3090, which was like how did you not? No one noticed.
It should have only been an average of 72% uplift versus 300. They said, and that was the biggest thing that they were talking about. He kept saying, a lot of this stuff is simple to catch. It was like y'all just ignored it. It's like y'all just said, yeah, we're just gonna push this out. It's all in the name of just getting videos out there, and the reason that a lot of these people watch these. Yeah. Well, like I said, the biggest thing he even said, he's like, I think he was doing he was on the WAN show. He was just talking about. He was like, listen, content is king. We got to get as much content out there as possible. But I'm sitting there like,
every day for all 5 of your channels.
25 videos. They was on average. Even his own people was like, I wish we would streamline our processes. I wish I would be able to take a break.
That in the Gamer Nexus video. He had his own employees on record saying, one employee said, I'm not proud of any of our videos. Yeah,
that was the last thing that they showed. He said, I'm not proud. He said, I haven't been proud of any of our videos in a very long time because they don't get a chance to reflect. And like, when I forget the one guy that does a lot of their sponsors that when Linus doesn't do them, he said sometimes he wished they could just sit back and reflect on the video they made. And maybe you might catch a lot of those inaccuracies, but as of right now, they're just full metal. As soon as they put out a video, they're going to the next video. And
let me tell you, half the time the Linus does the most damage, right? But half the time he does the most damage doing that stupid WAN show that he does, where him and the other guy Luke is there, and Luke is basically his babysitter. Like, Luke tries to stop Linus from saying something stupid that they're going to end up regretting later on. But he can't, like, the guy is the co-owner of the company. Yes, co-owner with his wife, who is HR. So his wife is HR. One HR person is the spouse to the owner and one of the biggest douchebags in the company. Like, that's not going to work. Look, his idea, if you got a small company, outsource HR. Don't skimp on HR. Just because you're a small company doesn't mean that you shouldn't be treating people the same exact way and have the same exact resources as other companies do. Having your wife be HR is a bad look. And of course, she's not doing anything because HR is never your friend.
Right.
The WAN show is always Linus basically saying, LOL, I don't care, I don't like this, I don't like that, I don't. But it's like, I'm sorry, whether you like something doesn't mean what you're saying is accurate or not. How he treated Billet Labs, he just didn't like their product, and he just didn't like the fact that they were charging $800 for it. So he did not care about being accurate. But I'm like, this isn't you making a video about getting scammed on Wish. This is about you actually doing benchmark clear reviews for other people. This isn't a video for you, Linus. This is a video for us. We are the ones that are going to decide whether we think the product is worth $800 or not. And how do we decide that? By you accurately giving us information, and it's us being adults and making that decision ourselves. You are not the person that make that decision for us. So his idea that like, oh, well, I was protecting my community from a bad product. Shut up. You're condescending douchebag. No, you weren't. Like, it's just you got in your ego and you think you know everything, and you're majority of the time you're wrong. So it is what it is. I think, my opinion, this company's never going to change until at least he's gone. And so he's like, back in June, when people were complaining about how bad their videos were and all the inaccuracies, they also did a mouse review for a frictionless mouse, didn't take the plastic off the bottom of the mouse, and then trashed the mouse saying it wasn't frictionless. In the video, you can see the plastic still on the mouse.
I know, it was so bad.
How bad? Like, how incompetent are y'all? Like, just and then even then he doubled down. Even then, it's just like, this is disgustingly sad. I don't think they're ever going to do better. What they need to do, he stepped down as CEO. Now he's got some other role. He's been demoted to some other role. But he clearly still has too much power, because he owns 50% of the freaking company.
Oh, they even said that's when he did the announcement of him stepping away from CEO. He owns 50 and his wife owns the other 50. So
right.
They own 100% of the company.
Yeah.
But
so,
they just pay the CEO to oversee everything.
You hired the CEO to be in charge, but who's the CEO answer to? You.
Because you're the only shareholders.
Right.
You and your wife.
It means nothing. It means absolutely nothing. Let me go hire, as my company, right? I'm CEO. I'm screwing up. All right, I hired a dude to take over my spot. I've been demoted. Ooh, I'm still owner. There's no demotion from owner. There's none. So
there's none.
He needs to sell the company. like it's you have a huge community. You have all these subscribers. You have like what he has is worth millions. You got this huge facility, all this technology. You got, I don't know how many people on staff that are, I think probably are very talented people, but just don't have the opportunity. I think it says like
120.
Okay.
120 people.
120 people who don't have time to do their job to their best capability. Because everything is at a breakneck pace. We got to get new content out. Oh, that was wrong. We're too bad. We don't have time to fix that. You got to drop this video because we can't go a single day without having new content on these channels. It's just, I don't think that's going to work for them any further. And I looked at Gamer Nexus's video as, I'm cool with you, but I need to let you know that what you're doing is not good, and you need to do better, and here's how you do better. But in typical fashion for someone who's that arrogant, and so that he didn't take it. Instead, he got mad and said, you weren't being a good journalist by not speaking to me ahead of time. But really all he wanted was an opportunity to try to damage control. So
yeah.
Anything else you want to say about this before we move on?
No, it's just crazy to think And maybe self-consciously I pulled away from watching because, you know, I used to always, you know, he's like in everybody's feed when it comes to tech, you know, so you always see Linus pop up. And I think just, you know, self-consciously, I stopped watching a lot. I still follow, but I stopped watching a lot of the videos and I go to other sources and stuff. I'll go watch, you know, Marquez Brownlee, or I'll go watch Gamer Nexus, or if there's a monitor I want to watch, I'll watch Hardware Unbox or something like that. And then, you know, and then maybe this is what it is. It got to a point where I only really watched Linus videos just to laugh, because that's the one thing that I think they found a way to is make you kind of like laugh at the things that they do, which is always stupid. And now come to find out that a lot of shit the stuff they were doing was stupid, legitimately stupid.
Yeah. And I just, you know, I hope that the young lady Madison is in a better place now, mentally and emotionally. I hope that the comeuppance and frankly, I wish you would have named names. I know she didn't have evidence to accuse people, but the people that sexually assaulted her that worked there, they need to be called out. The people who said things like, who just like, I think she said the moment she decided to quit, when she just couldn't take anymore, is when someone just completely for no reason decided to tell her, you know, you're only funny because you're not good at doing anything else. And I'm just like, who says? But why? Who says something like that? Like, why would you say to someone like that in a workplace? And it's clearly not the kind of environment that's considered, like, at least in the minds of a lot of people that work there, a workplace for them to act and speak to others like that. But hopefully she's in a better place now that she's no longer there. And I really do hope that the company changes. But I just, if he's still owner and technically still kind of in charge, I just never expect to see things there.
Yeah. Crazy though.
Ready to move on, man?
Absolutely.
All right, so this will probably be a short one, but Epic Games is expanding crossplay, and when I say that, they're expanding their crossplay tools. They're really pushing for crossplay across all platforms, and I think since they started their initiative with that, we're in a much better place than we once were. Most multiplayer games have some form of crossplay, and if they don't, it's almost like people are just like, what are you doing? Like, so I can't play with people on different platforms? It's just, it's kind of become uniform now. They are now expanding it so that, like, they have a cross-play overlay on PC, that is, where it will work across multiple stores. And they are also trying to expand this into for the work for Xbox, Nintendo Switch, and PlayStation. So I don't know about if PlayStation is still doing that whole revenue thing when it comes to crossplay.
Generating.
But it's just,
I don't know if they are either.
Yeah, it's just good to see that they are kind of pushing the envelope there. And I know it's there on PC, but I've never really like paid attention to it. But I have noticed that the overlay for the Epic Game Store launcher will like, you can connect to your other networks, like say the Xbox Live network or PSN, and see people. And you see it in Fortnite as well. In Fortnite, you'll see various other platforms where there are people that you have already made friends, have an epic friendship with, that, you know, you'll see if they're online or whatnot. So it's just good to see that, like, more of that is being developed. What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing is, in order for them to, with crossplay expanding, it ultimately comes down to, what are all of the players going to basically play together on this? I mean, no pun intended. Is PlayStation, I mean, because the only way this is going to work is if somebody like PlayStation does come to the table and allow it to be seamless without any extra issues or anything like that.
Yeah, it really, to your point, yeah, it's just really gonna come down to Sony playing both.
That's it.
It's a free SDK that developers can implement in their games, and they don't even need to like do anything. You just pick and choose which aspects of it that you want to put in your game, and you're good to go. And so it really, if it's not being implemented, it's really due to I think probably a developer or publisher deciding we don't want to pay that tax.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the biggest thing. And the only reason games like Fortnite were able to kind of write their own check and get, and even they still had to bend the knee to Sony to an extent when it came to the crossplay tax. But not every company can say that they have hundreds of millions of people playing monthly in their
game
to kind of, you know, make that a reality for them.
Right. It's
now, like it's a great idea, and I think it is going to be a lot of people that's going to take advantage of that. And I like the simplified, streamlined process that it is going to do in order to make, you know, crossplay a more, not just beneficial, but a more easier thing to implement for people in the future. But like I said, just ultimately comes down to whoever that market leader is. Right now it's Sony, and they want people to pay money because they feel like they're taking people away from their ecosystem. And I just feel like, especially with news of, you know, everything with Call of Duty and Activision, and if they lose that revenue, not lose that revenue outright, but they have to kind of compete more because they don't know what the certainty of that franchise is going to be in the future. I think that's going to make it even harder for them to even move off of things that they're doing right now, because Jim Ryan is a money motivated individual running a company that he has to answer to shareholders for. And the number one thing they're looking for is revenue. What is our number one goal? To be profitable. And then how are you going to be profitable? By going out and getting people to do things that you can kind of force them to do because you're in a position to do it.
Agreed. But we'll see what happens. Hopefully, this results in more games having crossplay. We're playing Remnant 2 right now. Remnant 2 has like limited crossplay, where there's crossplay for between Epic Game Store and Steam, but there isn't crossplay with PC and the consoles. And this is like one of those cases where like people like can't even complain about like, oh, cheaters on PC, you know, because it's a PvE game. So like, it's a
PvE game.
Right.
What are you gonna cheat in?
Right. So it's really would be perfect to be able to play with people on PlayStation or Xbox or whoever. And I think for Remnant 2 it's a better version of what they did with Remnant 1, which was it was all separate. Although maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll double check. Maybe for Remnant 2, Xbox and PlayStation can play together. I don't know for certain, but I just know that PC and console can't. So that's pretty much.
That's why I bought it on PC, baby. We gotta get back in there now that I'm home.
Right. Anything else you want to say about this before we?
Nah, man. Epic out here trying to make the world a better place for gamers.
We have a question in the chat. Ryan Landis says, are there genuine security risks to opening up crossplay, or was that just an excuse? That's just an excuse.
I mean,
I don't think there's any real security risk whatsoever for opening up crossplay. I don't think there's, especially considering that you got a lot of companies that they're running their own servers for these games, so it's not like maybe the somewhat of the security risk of PSN and Xbox Live in the account somehow maybe getting scraped in through the network or whatever, but like I don't think that's an actual real risk.
Well, there is a security risk because you are opening up your closed wall garden for people to be able to access it through, even if it's the smallest of portals, they're able to access it to be able to.
It's not really a closed wall garden. I mean,
well, you know what I mean. I mean, in their eyes,
every network can be hacked.
can be hacked,
and every network is hacked.
And we seen it,
Yeah.
But the biggest thing is,
if
like,
you don't think your network's hacked, you just don't know.
Yeah, but my biggest thing is, yes, it does open them up more than just having it closed off, because like you said, anything can be hacked. I just feel like when I hear things like that, I'm like, well, you're a $1 billion company, or $1 billion company. Hire people to make it less of a thing that could happen. Because I think hiding behind the wall of, it was just security,
an excuse for them to protect the revenue that they were making.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But guess what? The revenue that you're trying to protect, spend some of that revenue in order to make sure that you fortify it even more. And guess what? It's a good chance that you won't have any issues. Food for thought.
Yeah. And now look, I would say Crossplay.
Is that meanwhile her backpack?
Yes, that's her backpack. it's a comic book.
It's a comic book thing. Yeah.
And when I shoot at people, it goes pow pow, being like makes all the little the you see like the bam and the boom and all that stuff that you see in comics, special effect looks. It's pretty cool. For those on audio, I'm playing Fortnite gameplay in this Spider-Gwen.
Harassment Helldivers was. We did see it there. It wasn't playable though.
Wasn't playable.
Helldivers 2.
Helldivers 2. Okay. Yeah. We can move on.
Yeah.
I think we pretty much.
Yoshi P wants a better world. Let's go. I think we all want a better world when it comes to this topic. We're already what 33%, or a little bit higher than that.
What just
happened? We're 50% there.
Sorry,
Oh, your capture. Yeah.
There we go. So anyway, Yoshi P back in the news again. He just can't help but to just give us sound bites all the time. Yoshi P has come out and stated that he would like there to just be one platform. And to quote him accurately, as accurate as we can quote it, because this is a Taiwanese YouTube channel and this has been translated from that. But he said, game platforms, I probably shouldn't say this, and considering how much trouble Yoshi P has gotten in the past for things he said, he probably should have just not did anything. But game platforms, I probably shouldn't say this, but I wish there was only one. It would be better for both the developers and the players. Now, I half agree. And when I say I half agree, it's because I do believe it would be better for the developers. That's less work they would have to do. There's less platforms they have to put their game on. There's less SKUs, less versions, less builds they have to do. There's less work, and they can focus more on the quality of the game, or really getting the most out of that platform with the game, if they so choose to, in order to make the product on that one platform the best quality they possibly can. But where I don't think he is right is best for the gamers, because I don't see how in any way one platform is great for gamers. Yeah, you're gonna get better quality games from these developers, but then the platform holder doesn't have competition. Therefore, they get to treat you however way they choose to treat you. If they want to go charge as much money as they want, they're going to do that, and there's nothing that you can do about it. And so it's just, that's where it doesn't really help the gamers. And maybe Yoshi P, being a game director, he's only looking at it from the game development side of things, where it's it's better for the gamer because it's a better game. But does the game quality being better matter if we're paying more for it? Or the budget for the game goes down because why spend more for a higher quality product for who? You compete against who? You know, there's no one else to compete against. Before you go, Forte, real quick.
Yeah.
Shout out to Royal Boyle in the house, $5 super chat. Says just here to show love and support the two good dudes in the gaming community. Keep up the good work, my brothers. Appreciate you, Royal. Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it, bro.
All right, Forte, what are your thoughts on this, man?
So, I agree with him. The reason I agree with him, and I agree with him both.
100%?
100% agree with him. You know, hey, look,
we about to fight.
Listen,
go ahead.
Listen, and I understand what that means, but I also think you're looking at it from the looking from the wrong lens. When he's the thing that he is saying he probably shouldn't say, he really didn't say. He just basically threw out a statement.
You mean naming the one platform that he wishes?
Exactly. He just told you it should be one platform, but he didn't tell you what the one platform should be because it would alienate a really good portion of the community.
Maybe he doesn't have a preference.
No, he probably doesn't have a preference, but guess what? There are I always believe there should be consoles out there for people to play games on. But I also believe that, like you said, competition would not be ruined if it was PC as the only platform, because you have other launchers. You have Epic, you have
Steam.
Competition
on PC. Yeah.
There's still competition on PC. So even if the game is still played on a singular,
because he clearly was talking about like the difficulty in having to do different like versions of the same content, the same game. So it's
and that's why
on PC you're gonna have to make like he spoke later on. I mean, not later on, but back in June when he was talking about. The PC version of Final Fantasy 16, he was talking about how 6 months from, even though there's like a 6 month timed exclusive from PlayStation to PC, 6 months isn't enough time for them to port the game to PC to have it truly optimized, which like I'm holding him accountable to that, because if that game comes out the way Final Fantasy 7 Remake came out, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
What did you wait for? You might as well have just dropped it at launch or as soon as your timed exclusivity period was up, because y'all barely put any work into that one. But if you're gonna truly optimize the game, I agree. Go ahead and spend that time on optimizing the game, because there are different GPU architectures, there's different CPU architectures, there's different you have to have a minimum requirement and make sure that the game runs on that minimum hardware. I understand all of it. Just put the work in, bro.
Well, that's the thing I think they would do if it was just, and like I said, I don't want this to happen. I'm just going off the premise of what he said when it comes to the one console or the one platform ecosystem. You would be able to do that. Yes, there is a lot of different variations between builds on a PC, and it would take a little bit longer of a lead time to get those games optimized for the breadth of content or breadth of hardware you could play on. But I'm still thinking like, okay, so if a game was going to take you 4 months or 4 years to make, it might take you 4.5, an extra little bit of time to do that. But it's never going to happen because there's always going to be a console out there. But I do agree. I think if you took PC as the only platform, you wouldn't lose you wouldn't lose the competition because of just the launchers and everybody. And then it would just make it a little bit more segmented when it comes to that, because I think PlayStation would just have its own launcher. I think Xbox already has its own launcher. Ubisoft and all these other places that are launchers. But I think you wouldn't see Steam. I think Steam would be impacted the most because a lot of people put their stuff on Steam because they know that's the preferred platform for most gamers. But if consoles were no longer a thing, you would see those games not probably show up on Steam.
Yeah, I don't.
They would have their own launch. But I know what
think
what
you're saying is different than what he was saying.
No,
he was talking about
one
little self-contained closed product.
PC
A console
is a closed product.
is what he was talking about.
Screw that.
And that I don't look. Yes, it would be better for the developers. As I said, you only got to worry about creating the game for one platform, one SKU. You already know how much RAM you got. You know how much storage you got. You know how that APU works. You're learning shortcuts and ins and outs of it. You'll have it. That's great.
So we're throwing PC out the window then, basically. So PC is not a thing.
Isn't one like
no. I know what you mean. Yeah, I know. I'm just saying. No, I know what you're saying. I'm saying, so when you say one platform, we're saying it's a console and PC doesn't exist.
No, I'm not saying PC doesn't.
No. I'm not. No, I'm saying that's what he's saying.
What he's trying to say, even other like for example, let's say if it's PlayStation, he's talking about like in a
vacuum, it would be only PlayStation.
I wish there was only one.
Yeah, there was only PlayStation, or it was only Xbox.
He says,
Nintendo.
I wish. What does he wish? There was only one PC build too.
No. I'm just saying. But I'm just thinking. But for all the platforms, it just seems asinine to think that PC wouldn't be the one that you would keep. Because
I don't think he's not talking about PC whatsoever. He's talking about a console.
So PC, so it'll be one console and PC.
He ain't talking about putting no games on no PC.
I'm just, you know what I'm saying.
But if there was still PC, he ain't talking about putting games there. He's talking about putting games on one SKU, one console, and that's it. And yes, that would be great for developers. That's less work they have to do, and they can focus in on making sure that game is the best possible game for that specific piece of hardware.
The game still got to cut a PC though.
But
okay, but go ahead. But
this would be terrible for gamers because outside, it doesn't matter how much like work you put into that one SKU. If there's no competition, then the pricing of that one game is going to be more than what we're currently playing. There's no incentive by the platform to say, spend more on the games that they actually produce. There's no incentive to up the quality, to make sure that you are enticing the gamers to go to your platform, because there is an actual other option, an alternative there that they could go to if you're not living up to their expectations. It's just like, and I think that would hinder quality, because if, say, they decided to change the revenue split with publishers and developers. Let's say they want it's 70-30 traditionally. Let's say they wanted to make it 50-50. Well, now that's 20% less money revenue that publisher is expecting to get back. Maybe they decide we're not going to spend as much money on the budget and development of this game as we were before, because we're not going to make as much money off of it as we once were before. Like there's more to just the game development side of things.
It is.
So yeah, I just think that part would be bad, and Yoshi P is wrong again.
Oh Lord, he's not wrong. You just disagree, sir.
He's wrong. He's like he's wrong that there were no people of color and no black people in medieval times. He's wrong.
Well, he was definitely wrong about that. That was asinine. But for you to sit here and say that, I'm disappointed in you, SloMo. PC Master Race. I'm disappointed in you.
I'm not talking. I can't put words in his mouth.
No, because is PC a platform?
Yes, it is. But that's not what he didn't say the word platform.
What did he say? What did he exactly say?
Okay, he did say game platforms. Okay, hold on now.
What is PC? It's a game platform. It's a platform that plays games.
But that's clearly not what he's talking about. Game platforms. I probably shouldn't say this, but I wish there was only one. He ain't talking about PC.
SloMo. SloMo. How you know you just sit here saying I can't put words in that man's mouth, but you put words in that man's mouth.
You putting words in his mouth.
No,
you're saying
I said what if
you said if it's only going to be one platform, it's gotta be PC. Not according to Yoshi P.
I said no. Listen, I said right before I even started the thing, I said this isn't probably what he meant to say. But I think
then why
in general,
are we talking about it? You talking about a hypothetical? I'm talking about what he actually said and meant.
I'm talking about if there's one console or one ecosystem or one platform, the one platform is going to be PC.
The best platform is PC. So of course I would feel like if there's only going to be one platform, it's
PC. And that's all I'm saying.
But that's not what he's talking about.
You don't know what he's talking about because you're just extrapolating the word game platform and just saying, oh, PC don't have a game platform. It does. It's a platform for games too.
It doesn't, because he's speaking specifically as a game developer. Even when he's talking about...
They don't develop games on PC?
That's not the point. They do develop games on PC. You have to be literally just taking this out of context on purpose. He's talking about...
No, I'm just listening to you. What you said? You said he said game platform. He didn't say console.
Game platform. I'm going to say the quote again. Game platforms. Game platforms. I probably shouldn't say this, but I wish there was only one. It would be better for both the developers and the players.
Would it be better for the developers if PC was just the only platform to develop games for?
In what way would it be?
No. I'm asking you. I'm asking you. No, you're the one that...
You just made the assertion. I'm going to ask you, and what you tell me in what way?
Because in the same way,
one platform is PC, that's still better for developers. Make it make sense.
No, because just like you just said, just because you got one SKU when it comes to a console, and I hate arguing this because it makes it seem like I don't want consoles to be around. That's not the case. I love consoles, but I'm just going off of just the argument of what we're talking about here. If it's going to be one, it has to be PC, because guess what? Just like you said, just because consoles have a singular system or a singular spec that you have to work for. So yes, it's easier on a console than anything else. But if you still have a PC that you are building you're building your games on, that is still significantly easier than building for a console and building for a PC at the same time.
Forte. He's not talking, if he's saying one platform, that means if you choose PC, there are no consoles around. There's just PCs.
Right.
If you choose a console, there are no PCs around, or they're not going to put games on PC. Just the console. That's his scenario.
So we're not putting games on. So none of these games will be coming to PC. So there is no PC.
No.
Oh, okay. So we're being asinine here. Okay, SloMo, you can have this conversation. We're gonna disagree because you're sitting up here saying that, oh no, there's not gonna be any PC. What are you talking about?
This is Yoshi P's perfect game developer scenario. Okay,
Yoshi P didn't come out and say any.
What? Did you mute yourself? Wow.
No, I didn't mute myself.
You should have muted yourself with this crazy argument you got.
I'm just sitting here listening to you talk about it. Look, everybody's talking about how PC. Look, Taz is right. Y'all both speculate. Nobody knows what that man is talking about. Absolutely. And that's exactly how I started the conversation. I said, I don't know what the man's talking about. But SloMo, no. Let me talk. Real quick. But SloMo is up here telling people.
Can you play Final Fantasy 16?
You can't. It's on console only right now.
Oh, exactly.
Where can you play Baldur's Gate right now? Baldur's Gate 3.
He ain't make that game.
I'm just saying, but where can you only play?
No. Which is only on PS5.
Where can you only play?
He says this comment after launching the game on PS5, and now he got to put it on PC.
Listen.
So
because he wished he didn't have to do double. No,
is based upon the fact that he got to port the same game to a different platform.
Because guess what? If he probably would have said the same exact thing. So let me ask you this, SloMo. If he put it on PC first and then 6 months later it came to PlayStation, he wouldn't say the same thing.
Say that again.
So if the role was reversed and he put it on PC first, and then he had to port it to PlayStation 5 later, 6 months later, he wouldn't say the same thing?
No.
Oh, he wouldn't.
Because he would have already had to take into account in their QA testing a multitude of different builds.
Oh my God.
You know it's true.
He already did that, SloMo. He did it when he was
do that.
They knew. They already knew they was going to bring the game to PC.
They know
the
that.
game was.
They haven't optimized for PC yet. That's why it ain't come out on PC yet.
No, it didn't come out on PC because it's probably an exclusive deal with them not to bring it out on PC.
Quote him again.
Go ahead.
Even if we start optimizing the PC version after the PS5 version comes out, we won't be able to optimize it in half a year. They haven't even attempted to optimize the game on PC yet.
Yeah, because it was exclusive to PS5 and they didn't have what first of all, how long is the deal? We don't even know how long the deal for the game is.
6 months.
Are you sure? Final Fantasy
yes.
was Final Fantasy 7 was
earlier. That's a different game, a different contract. It came out earlier this year. Final Fantasy 16 was Xbox is different. So I don't know when if it is never coming to Xbox. Maybe now that Phil Spencer's gotten involved in negotiations with them, maybe it's coming at some point. But they've only talked about only other version on the platform they've ever talked about getting Final Fantasy 16 is PC.
Listen. KSanti said it best.
The only place that Final Fantasy 7 Remake is that's not on PlayStation is PC.
Listen,
so they're only talking about PC.
He said, but historically, Square hasn't treated PC as a proper platform, so we all know what he meant. But to be clear, it's all speculation. And this is the thing, SloMos don't understand. I literally said it's all speculation. It's all speculation.
Look,
he did say it. It's all speculation. That's all I've been saying. I said Forte, even from the beginning. I didn't say he would. No, listen. Wait, hold on. Let me finish what I say. No, let me finish.
Can I say that?
Yeah, go.
But
ahead.
Then also, you can't take half his sentence and say that's all I care about and completely ignore.
No, I literally said before the conversation. I said
66% of his statement is disagreeing with you.
Listen, no, I literally said before I even see this is the you only listened to the last part that I said other than the thing I said at the very beginning. I literally said at the very beginning before I said anything, he most likely means this is about console, but I said the only thing that should really matter if it's one platform is PC. I injected my thoughts into that. I didn't say that he said that. I said he is probably most likely talking about console, but I was just pushing back on the fact that if there is only going to be one proper platform, it's going to be PC. That's the thing. You didn't listen to the fact that I said that literally in the beginning, and I injected my own thought into it. I did hear that.
I said it's irrelevant because that ain't what Yoshi P talking about.
And I said no, and I literally told you that he was most likely talking about consoles right then and there. So I did this. Exactly, because you wanted to argue about something. No, I instantly said I don't agree with you. I said I don't agree with this, and you said, "Oh, we're gonna argue." That's literally what you said.
That's not what I said.
That is what you said. You literally said, "Oh, we're about to argue."
I disagree with you, and you disagree. The thing that you claim that you were going to disagree with me about.
I said I disagree with you.
Me.
No, I said I disagree with you. I said I disagree with you. I said I believe Yoshi P is right. There should be one platform. But I also said he's most likely talking about consoles here, but I'm here to tell you that it should be PC.
You're not even making any sense right now.
Okay, whatever.
You're not making any sense right now. When you said you disagreed with me is the part where I was like, if it's on console, if there's only one console and that's it, that's the only gaming platform there is, you have no other options, that's bad for the gamer. Because what's going to happen and what every company does when they don't have competition is they start treating you like crap, right?
But you also keep saying that they don't have competition where there's like 50 launchers on PC that can give you competition. So competition would not be lessened if the games were on PC.
He's not
talking
to you about PC.
Oh my god, I can't.
He's not talking about PC.
I can't.
How?
But no,
how is that better for the developers, as he said?
No, because you're arguing the fact that it still wouldn't let you. It would like lessen competition, and I'm like, no. There's one platform. Yes, if we're talking about a singular platform like PlayStation or Xbox, yes, it would lessen competition. It would be bad for gamers. But guess what? It wouldn't be bad for gamers if it was on PC because there's still competition on PC.
Shout out to the 63 people listening to this that have to understand what I'm dealing with Forte.
Oh my gosh. Shout out to K and Sante saying he missed Everborn listening to us argue.
Thank you, Ryan.
Yeah, you can feel his pain. I'm feeling it too. I got a headache right now. I feel nauseous as I sit here in this chair.
And by the way,
move on.
By the way, I just wanted to say something real quick. This is me being slanderous. Look at my I took a compilation of some of my gameplay clips on Final Fantasy 16 that I recorded off of my PS5, and I put them all in a little montage together. And notice I ain't got none of them rings on, right? For those who play the game, y'all know what I'm talking about. Anyway, no rings over here. Okay, we don't need that. So let's move on. Let's move on.
Yeah, let's move on. Agree to disagree. Oh, Phil was like, there will be competition on PC because AMD and NVIDIA will be locking features to games like with Starfield.
Right.
There will be competition.
And since you mentioned Starfield, let's discuss that. Starfield had a Q&A. Was that today or yesterday?
I think it was yesterday.
It was yesterday? All right. Well, look, we
it might have been today. I don't know. I saw some of it. I didn't see it live when it happened.
I can't remember how many questions they answered, but I just wanted to kind of go over a few to kind of, like we can discuss them. So first one is over 20 companions in Starfield, apparently. What are your thoughts about that, Forte?
I thought it would have been more. 20 is a lot. 20 is still, I mean, when they throw grand numbers out there, like, think about it.
I thought you was about to say what I was thinking. Go ahead.
Oh, what were you thinking?
What does it matter if you got 20 companions if you only can have one or two of them with you at a time?
Yeah, and
they're not as robust of companions or a set crew like you would get in like Mass Effect or Dragon Age.
Like Mass Effect or Dragon Age.
Whatever.
Yeah, that's good.
Whatever,
yeah, you're right. You're right. I'm glad you realized that before I got to it. But no, I thought there would probably be more because well, I'm not gonna say I thought there would be more. I just think because everything about this game they talk about on this grand scale. Like we all know it's 1,000 planets in the game, but we all know only about 50 of them are probably gonna have anything of any.
I don't really mind that because honestly, I'm not going to like we have 1,000.
I don't either, but
I ain't hitting 1,000 planets.
No, I'm not gonna hit 1,000 planets either. But I also know I'm not gonna use but probably 5 or 6 of those companions.
True. You're going to pick the ones you like.
Yeah, and you're never going to talk and lose the other ones.
Right,
yeah,
right. You can keep it moving.
Yeah, exactly. So that's not a big deal to me. I'm just shocked that it's such a lower number. I thought it would have been some like they said 1,000 planets. I was thinking like there's over 100 companions in this game that you could customize and build, and you can make your own companion from the ground up like you do your character. Like I was expecting something like that.
Shout out to Dorian Gray proving he has never played a Mass Effect game before. With the comment, all Mass Effect companions do is stand at the waypoint and shoot stuff when you command them. Hello? What are you talking about, sir? Play Mass Effect Legendary Edition and do yourself a favor, sir.
Yeah.
How about actual side content, actual plot points for your companions? They are like actually fully fleshed out characters that aren't one note or. He
said he played all 3 of them SloMo, so he's truly lost.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you, bro. You're probably weren't paying attention. Did you skip all
we
the
love
dialogue?
Wait, he must didn't kick that one NPC out the window.
Right. Yeah, no, it's a different level. And I'm not trying to pit BioWare against Bethesda. They do things that their game design is different. They intend it to be different. They focus on different things. If you're into exploration and more freedom of choice, you're of course going to prefer a Bethesda RPG over a BioWare one, or old school BioWare RPGs. They're not really, who knows what the heck they're doing now, but like if you were more into great stories, great characters, and all the things that BioWare really kind of pioneered when it came to Western RPGs as time went on, then you would be more on the BioWare side of things. Why not both? Some people like both, but the thing is that they're both great at different things, and therefore the things that Bethesda is great at, BioWare isn't, and vice versa. And one of those things is companions. It ain't even close.
Wait a minute, hold on. Sly Crow, I don't know if he's doing this on purpose just to anger certain people. He says Mass Effect 1 and 3 had great companion depth. They absolutely did. But the one that had the best companion depth was Mass Effect 2.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Those loyalty missions.
How did you skip over 2?
Yeah,
2
those loyalty missions. Good. Like, I mean, like Jacob's loyalty mission. Like, man, I wanted to shoot his father myself. Like,
yep, sure did.
It's not even like, well, how do we get into talking about BioWare? Let me stop. We only into the first daggone thing. Okay, here's another thing they brought up. So there's a jail systems which are similar. The jail system in Starfield is going to be similar to how it is in like Elder Scrolls games, where if let's say you commit a crime, let's say you slap a guard in the face or something, right? You can go to jail, you can pay a fine, or you can, try to evade arrest. Like I remember playing Morrowind and just attacking everybody really, and then trying to fight my way out. Dorian says he's trolling. We know, bro.
I had a feeling, yeah.
I guess this is like not a big deal at least in my opinion. I would expect them to have something similar. Again, we've always been calling this thing Skyrim in space. So if they have a jail system like Skyrim did, but this in Starfield, then yeah, duh. What are your thoughts on that?
I actually think it's actually pretty cool that they're adding that into the game. They try to take little things from their older games to basically just meld them all into the one. Like Starfield's meant to be the Bethesda game that they always wanted to make, and then having the ability to still have that crime and jail system still in place, I think is really, really, really cool. And then it gives you, but then it also gives, think about it, space pirate, space outlaw, being able to, you have the option to resist the arrest and evade the law.
I'm always resisting the arrest. I'm
saying. I'm not, they try to, like, if I shoot a capital ship that I shouldn't shoot and they want to come after me, y'all gotta catch me. I'm not turning myself over. But I think a lot of people are going to be more interested, or some people, not all people, because people don't play like this. I think a lot of more people are going to probably be a little bit more kind of not upset, but a little down on the next one, where you really can't do a pacifist playthrough in the game. It's like no way to do it.
So there's that. So I don't mind this one, right? So because even when I did a mostly pacifist playthrough in the Outer Worlds, where I had a really, really high speech and persuasion skills, so I could just talk my way out of a lot of situations. But typically, like, that doesn't really come up when you are dealing with, like, say in Outer Worlds, the monsters all across the map, or you don't even have the opportunity to even speak to some random thugs in the area where you're gonna have to do what you gotta do. You gotta shoot them, or club them upside the head, whatever weapons you have at your disposal. It comes more into the play when it comes to like big decisions and choices and characters, boss kind of stuff. Like at the end of the Outer Worlds, you can beat. I did that entire final mission without firing my gun. I convinced the enemies that I was one of them. They let me pass. I talked my way out of every situation, talked my way all the way up to the final person, and I can't remember what I did, but I definitely didn't shoot my gun, and I was able to accomplish the mission without killing anybody. So I think what they're saying is that you can do things like that, but you're not going to be, let's say you go to an outpost and it's got pirates in it. You're not going to be able to just talk them into leaving. You're going to have to pull out a gun and handle your business. So, right. Which I'm fine with. I'm fine with that. So I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
No, I did too.
The next one is said that the Starfield is influenced by Battlestar Galactica, Interstellar, Star Wars, and Event Horizon, which all that stuff is good. Except for Star Wars. Star Wars is trash. Guess
what mentioned in that?
What, Star Trek?
No. Dune.
You know what? You know what, Forte?
One of the greatest
hold on.
symphonies.
No. Hold on. Dune is mentioned in that.
No, it's not.
Because they mentioned Star Wars, and Star Wars basically copied Dune. Therefore, they got Dune influences in the game. Thank you.
They said Star Wars.
They said Star. And what did Star Wars do? Steal from Dune. Thank you.
But what do most people do? Most people know that Star Wars
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
It does matter. It does matter.
That the Bethesda devs don't know that they're getting everything from Dune.
Well, they're getting what Star Wars is and what Star Wars has always been from the beginning,
which is
really
stolen content from Dune.
And guess what? It is really interesting because there is a Dune movie coming out soon that you would think that they would be like, oh, Dune. There's actually a Dune, so that you would think they would be like, oh, let's throw a shout out there to Dune.
Well, maybe they are concerned with comparing themselves to something that's going to be such amazing quality, and they're afraid,
which is Star Wars.
Up. No, Dune.
Well, that's why they mentioned Star Wars and not Star Trek.
Phil
and
says, SloMo, you sure you ain't thinking of a Song of Ice and Fire? Because I never heard that take before. Okay, A Song of Ice and Fire started one that's more fantasy than sci-fi. And George R.R. Martin started writing that in like the late 90s, early 2000s, whereas Dune was written before what's the guy from Star Trek? What's the guy that stole everything? What's his name? You know his name, Forte. What's his name?
You don't know the
George
Godfather
Lucas.
of Star Wars?
Lucas.
Thank you.
Before George Lucas could even think of Star Wars, Frank Herbert was writing Dune, and there are really no other like science fiction that has the kind of huge space, Congress, different planets, different like a whole organization, a government, all that kind of stuff. The whole Jedi thing, they stole all that stuff from the Sisterhood in Dune. Look, it's deep. Like, go look on YouTube, look up, Dune, Star Wars stole from Dune. You'll see people going deep into all of it, and it's well known. But anyway, we can move on.
I don't know, SloMo.
You don't need to know, okay? It happened. That's all you need to know, okay?
Yeah, well, Frank Herbert did everything. He did great. It's a great franchise, but guess what? Star Wars is better.
Right. And even then, like Dune stole from not stole, but like was inspired by the Quran. Dune was inspired by other fiction as well, like much older fiction in regards to some of the politicking that goes on in Dune. So yeah, it's like Dorian that is correct here, and we said everything is derivative of something else. Everything is influenced by other things, but I when I say Star Wars stole from Dune, like the closeness of if you'll see it when more of the Dune movies come out, when how much Star Wars borrowed from Dune is just like it.
So what did Star Trek borrow?
I don't know, because I don't really watch Star Trek like that.
Because Star Trek has been out since 1966. And some people would say Star Wars borrowed more from Star Trek than anything.
Let me see.
The Dune book came out in
Dune
1965.
Right.
So the year before.
Yeah. Star Trek is, I mean, look, I don't want to trash Star Trek.
Star Trek is about
I don't want to do it.
Star Trek is about the planets. Star Trek is about the planets and the people. Well, Star Trek is about the planets, and I always say Star Wars
hot aliens.
Yeah, smashing hot aliens, and Star Wars is about the politics and the people.
We gonna
just
anyway. Back to the Starfield. What we were talking about.
Star Trek is golden. Let's go.
Okay, Taz. There are mechs in the game, but you can't use them. I hate mechs, so I'm good with that. Go ahead and show old mechs blown up and rusted all over the battlefield. I don't want to use them. I don't want to get in one. I'm good. What about you, Forte?
No, who cares?
All right. Your parents will look like you if you use the kid stuff trait. So I also don't care about this.
Well, that's just them adding more to their background.
Yeah, this is like little minutia, minor things. Like, you know, you go like, so you create a character and you have your playable character, and then when they show your parents, like they'll make the parents look like a version of, or like combinations of the features that you have. That's fine. Okay, fine. This thing, I know that there's some people that don't really care for this, but environmental storytelling, because this came up with Elden Ring, and how some people said Elden Ring didn't have a story, and
the environment told the story.
Right, and so the environment tells the story, or you pick up items, you look at their descriptions, and you would get more lore and context off of those things. So what they're talking here is that, like, to help with the immersion, they're doing a lot of environmental storytelling, from like books lying around, notes on bulletin boards, stuff like that. And look, if it's well written, I don't mind it to a degree. Like, it needs to be a balance. I feel like Remedy dives too hard into the environmental storytelling, because like full context of things that's going on in the actual story could be completely lost to you if you don't read the 5,000 notes that you pick up while you're playing Remedy's games. But, and I hate to go back to BioWare, but like say for Dragon Age, for example, the story is great, it's compelling, it's awesome, and then you can also see a codex and understand why the mages feel oppressed against the Templars, and what's been going on for centuries with the oppression, and the history behind, like, why the main villain, one of the main villains, Logain, decided to betray you and the kingdom, and you find out it's because of a long-seated hatred for another country that the king was going to have like dealings with. It's like little things like that you learn from lore, and it's not necessarily the explanation of it. So what I'm hoping with Starfield is there a balance. Like, the story is still good. I don't have to look at all the codexes, the notes, to understand what the heck is going on. You feel me?
I do.
All right. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, environmental. I mean, that's the biggest thing. You know, it should be there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I feel like even in a great story, being able to let the world the immersion of the world, tell the story on top of it, it'd be like your silent sales associate is something that is needed in video games. Like if I go back to one of my favorite movie franchises of all times, the Alien franchise, watching James Cameron's take on H.R. Geiger's just the ability to make these structures and everything like that, and the environments, like watching them go through the hive for the first time was something that was really, really like, it made your skin crawl. So it could, even though you're just watching it, it kind of gave you an uneasy feel of what's going to happen around this corner. It told a story that you didn't even have to, the characters didn't have to say anything. Just being there. Like, matter of fact, when we played Remnant 2, going through the hatchery, it's like, yo, this is spooky. Like, it's like things crawling off the walls and stuff. It kind of tells you a story and gives you that uneasiness without dialogue being spoken at all. Right. But then you'll hear that voice in the background that's like talking and hearing, and then you think about shows like Stranger Things with the Upside Down and Vatican talking to people when he's about to possess them and stuff. And it's all of the environment telling this grand story that they're just building over the top of the original story that you can actually hear.
Secondary. It has to be,
and that's the thing. It's secondary to what you're seeing.
Right.
To what
it can't
you're
be the primary method of storytelling, which is why I think as a story, Elden Ring sucks. Like, as the story of Elden Ring ain't good.
Well, yeah,
but the lore is
exactly.
really awesome, and you can get deep into the lore and all the extra context of the world and what certain buildings meant and what has happened before you start playing the game. But the actual story, like this is what all I'm saying is that, like, don't let the environmental storytelling be doing all the heavy lifting in the story department
at the cost of actual storytelling. Right.
So there's another aspect that you could buy property in the game, and look, I'm fine with that. Ever since GTA Online let me have multiple penthouses, apartments, and whatnot in places to store all of my vehicles, I've been down for that kind of thing.
Yeah, so you gotta have a house in every quadrant to take women too, so they can. Let me show you how I live over here in the East Coast versus how I live over here on the West Coast.
Right. So yeah, I'm down. So yeah, I'm good with that. Also, they said there are 3 main religions in the game. One is called the Sanctum Universum, which is, I'm going to say, probably like their version of, like, I guess, like an offshoot of Christianity, but
it's of Christianity,
but it's like I'm not gonna get deep in it, but there's the Enlightened, which is their version of like atheists, and the Great Serpent, which they didn't really get into any details about, but they also said other religions that are like real, in real life do exist, but these are the 3 main ones now. So, I mean, I expect you'll probably run into cultists and stuff, and you choose to be a part of any of those religions if you want, or exploit them if you so choose. So, it is what it is. What are your thoughts on that?
No, listen, that's another form of storytelling. Some people don't like religion brought into their video games, but I can tell you right now, some of the best video games ever made had really strong religious undertones. Go back and think of BioShock Infinite. Like, it was pretty crazy how the beginning of that game was with them with them praying and chanting underneath the tower or the lighthouse before you go into I forget the name of the city in Columbia in the sky. So yeah, games do it all the time, and I think it's some of the best storytelling that they can do. So I'm definitely in for this, and you're gonna run into like different religion factions depending on what part of the galaxy you're in. You're gonna have like your wayfarers where it feels like nothing bothers them. It's like everything is bliss. But then you're gonna have the ones that are gonna be super radical when it comes to their beliefs and feel like anybody that doesn't agree with the belief should be struck down. And that's going to be something that you're going to have to navigate as you go through the different parts of the galaxy. And I find that really interesting.
This is super random, but I wonder if the people who have got review codes so far, if they're getting them on Xbox or if they're getting them on PC. I wonder if it's
I think they're getting that's a good. Well, it's on Xbox because Rance was on Xbox.
Well, Rand doesn't have a gaming PC, so.
Oh, that's true.
He wouldn't have chosen to get a code for Xbox.
Or did they just give people anyway. Or did they just give people Game Pass codes and gave them early? Oh no, yeah, they would have to give you an actual code because the early access isn't until September 1st.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I guess you could probably request if you were to. You probably could have requested the PC code.
Yeah, I think. I mean, you got to have some people playing it on PC, but probably I think maybe the majority are on Xbox, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Last thing, and then we can start to wrap things up. Crew members can be assigned to work at outposts. Yeah, I mean, that sounds pretty cool. Remember Fortnite Save the World, like the original Fortnite before it became a battle royale.
Yep.
That was the aspect of that Fortnite Save the World I really enjoyed. You would save people out in the open world, and then they would go back to your base and work for you. They could be, you could put them on defense. They'll be defending the base that you built from the whatever those zombies were or whatever, or you could send them out to like do stuff, which you can do in like older Bethesda games too. Take one of your companions, say go out and scavenge some crap somewhere or something, or do something, which a lot of games have that option, and that a lot of RPGs have that kind of option. But I think that's pretty cool. I remember what I really loved in Dragon Age Inquisition was being able to assign multiple different groups to various different tasks all around the entire world all at one time. I thought that was pretty fun. But this looks like if you get an outpost, you could build a domicile, or you could design one, or I guess even take one and then just assign people to work there. So it's pretty cool to me. What do you think?
No, I think it's cool. I think this is something they pretty much already said you're gonna be able to do this. They did it there in the Starfield Direct, where they're talking about you can invite people onto your ship and they can become your normal crew, and then you can assign them to outposts and stuff like that. I think that's really cool because sometimes you just want to get rid of people. Maybe it's like, hey, I don't want to space. I don't want to
go to this planet and never come back.
Yeah, I don't want to space you, so I'm gonna leave you on this planet, and you're gonna run this outpost because I just don't want to put you in the airlock because I think that's wrong. But that's
actually
no, I think you'll be able to put people in the out.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Some people are going to go out of the airlock. It's going to be glorious. It's going to be great. But maybe you'll have a bunch of wives or a bunch of husbands, depending if you play male or female, and you as you're planting your seed across the galaxy. You can give them their own, right? He's like, this is your home, this is your outpost. This is where you live. I'm gonna take care of you, and then this is. Yeah, it's gonna be real interesting how they go about.
I see you have thought this through.
I have. I want to listen when there's that much space between you and another person. When it comes to that, it's like anything's possible.
All right, well, man, I think that is it, and I mean, I guess we'll just have to see how it goes. Again, don't have a review code, but I will be jumping.
He's still mad about this review.
Oh yeah, but I will be jumping in when it's available on Game Pass. I'm not doing the early edition. I'm not spending extra money. Play it like
$35, man. That's all it is.
Good. I ain't gotta play it 5 days early. I can spend that time playing other stuff. But Forte,
What up?
good show, man.
Yeah, good show. I started feeling better after 10 minutes of being live with you.
I thought you started feeling better when you started yelling at me and arguing.
Oh, I definitely was feeling better when I started yelling at you. You can definitely tell that I was very passionate about what I was saying.
All right, let's get up out of here. Forte, where can the fine people find you?
They can find me at the Gaming Forte YouTube channel, YouTube and Twitter. You can also find me on Threads, but I think Threads is dead already.
Oh yeah, it's already gone, man.
It's already gone. DPS next week on my channel. Come check us out over there, and have a great weekend. Also, channel members, Basement Radio Arcade Podcast, Donnell Brown, Erodimus, Dragonheart Yobi, Stardust Acero, Ramon Terrell, Hargy Shani, Corey Hale, SloMoBackSlap, DJ Oris, that guy Smitty. You guys are amazing. Really appreciate all the love and support that you give us when it comes to supporting us in this way. Outside of that, enjoy the games you're playing. Keep looking at all the trailers. There's like a lot of good information. We're starting to hit the part of the year that's pretty exciting. It starts with Madden, if you're into Madden or anything, but it just literally ramps up from here. Like it's literally almost one or two good games every month going forward for the rest of the year, and it's going to be pretty cool.
All right, on my side of things, I got Vay Babe, Donnell Brown, DexFlex27, Dragonheart Yobi, Enrique, Hargy Shadi, Truth Serum, Erodimus, Ramon Terrell, aka Trent Birdsong, Homie One Kenobi, Gaming Forte, Corey Hale, Stardust Acero, and that guy Smitty. We appreciate you guys for supporting us as usual. We love you guys, and today night was a pretty good stream. I have to admit, I had some fun. You know, I normally have fun, but I had a little bit more fun. It's all right.
I'm about to say, what the heck are you saying? What are you saying, sir?
I had fun.
Okay, good. I know you have fun. You better have fun.
I said I had a little bit more fun than usual.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Can
I say that?
Fine. You can. You're good.
Agreed.
I have fun with you too. Pause.
Oh yeah, that huge pause. We're gonna get up out of here, man. But no, I appreciate you guys for coming through. We will be back next week again on Forte's channel, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I feel like I'm forgetting something.
You do your channel members?
I did that.
Okay.
All right, that's it. We're out. Peace.
Later, guys.
Eyes of Guardian.